Hello guys and welcome again to my channel. So right now, since I've already finished the working capital management videos, so basically I have the knowledge for working capital management. So let's test that. So the purpose of this video is to answer some multiple choice questions generated by ChatGPT. Okay? And based on those questions, I am going to try to answer it organically, like I have not prepared anything. So I could be wrong in the multiple choices. However, you'll be able to understand my thought process when answering multiple choice questions. Maybe you can relate, or you can learn more as to how to answer multiple choice questions. Okay, so let me type in my command to ChatGPT. Ask me multiple choice questions related to working capital management. Ask it one by one, and then let me answer before going to the next question. And before going to the next question also, you have to tell me if I am correct or wrong and explain why. Let's begin with your first question on working capital management. Which of the following is considered a component of working capital? Long-term debt? Of course it's not, because working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. So the answer is C. Next. A firm's working capital policy that results in higher liquidity would likely have higher liquidity, high levels of short-term liabilities, no. Low levels of current assets, no. High levels of current assets, that's right. High levels of fixed costs. So when answering multiple choice question, you need to be careful. You have to read all the multiple choice questions and select the best. Don't stop, for example, in letter B because you think the letter B is already the answer. You have to read all the multiple choices. Okay? Next. Which of the following is the primary goal of working capital management? To maximize profitability, no. To minimize fixed assets, no also. To ensure that the firm can meet its long-term obligation, maybe. Yeah, it's neither. To reduce shareholders' equity, it's not. So A, B, and D, it's not. So let's answer letter C. I guess all the answers are C. Which of the following ratios is commonly used to assess the company's working capital efficiency? Debt to equity, no. Because this is not related to liquidity. Working capital is for liquidity. So current ratio, letter B. Next, the current ratio is a key metric used to assess, just like that. If a firm shortens its credit terms to customers, okay, it's shortening the credit terms to customers, that means the impact will likely have on its working capital. Of course, if you shorten the credit terms to your customers, that means you are becoming more strict. And if you're becoming more strict, your purpose is to reduce the receivables. So decrease the accounts receivable, increase in cash reserves, maybe, but more on letter A. Decrease in inventory levels. Why? It's not related to inventory. Increase in current liabilities. The correct answer for me is letter A. Yeah. Next. Which of the following strategies is typically associated with an aggressive working capital strategy? Aggressive, okay. Maintaining high levels of cash reserves, no. That is very conservative if you maintain high levels of cash reserves and current assets. Using short-term financing for long-term assets, that's aggressive. Reducing current liabilities, no. This is conservative because if you wanted to be aggressive, you have to maximize current liabilities even if you are going for investment in long-term assets. Minimizing the investment in current assets, maybe, but the most aggressive, B or D. I'm choosing B or D, but the most aggressive between the two is letter B, so I'm gonna choose letter B. Incorrect. Oh no. The working capital policy is typically characterized by minimizing the investment in current assets. Okay. It's one of my options. This means that the company operates with lower levels of cash, inventory, and other current assets to maximize profitability, but it also increases financial risk. Using short-term financing for long-term assets, option B, is a risky financing strategy, but it doesn't directly relate to working capital. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Which of the following actions I agree with ChatGPT here? Although there are limitations for ChatGPT, sometimes they cannot give you the correct answers for computational problems. So which is why I let it give me multiple choice questions that are theoretical. Which of the following actions would most likely improve a firm's working capital position? Increasing the dividend payout, no. Offering longer payment terms to suppliers, you are offering longer payment term to suppliers, maybe. Delaying customer payments, maybe. Reducing inventory levels, if you reduce inventory levels, it will not help the working capital position, so crash out A. So we have B or C. I guess if you delay customer payments, your liabilities will rise, so it will not help the working capital because current assets minus current liabilities. If you delay customer payments, then the payable will increase, so it will make your working capital lower because of high current liabilities. I will choose B. I will choose B. Correct. Yeah, I'm correct. Offering longer payment terms to suppliers would improve the firm's working capital position by delaying cash outflows. This allows the company to hold into its cash for a longer period, improving the liquidity without immediately increasing liabilities or reducing assets. That's basically what's in my mind. I'm joking. I did not think about this deeper. What I did is just elimination process. So I eliminated those multiple choices that are clearly not the answers until I am left with two options. And the other option, I analyzed it deeper and found that it will not be able to help the working capital position of the company. Now, question number 8. Which of the following is a potential disadvantage of holding too much working capital? Increased financial risk, no. Higher opportunity cost, that might be. Increased leverage, no. Lower current assets. You are already holding too much working capital, so why lower current assets? So, again, the disadvantage of holding too much cash, holding too much current assets, or making working capital so large is that there is higher opportunity cost because supposedly you have already invested it in long term, and in long term there are higher returns. So letter B. So I'm correct. Question number 9. A high inventory turnover ratio, yeah, generally indicates excessive inventory levels, no? Efficient inventory management, might be. High working capital requirements. I don't know how is it related with the inventory turnover ratio. Again, the inventory turnover ratio or inventory turnover is just the number of times you have bought an inventory and then sell it. So you bought again. So that's one inventory turnover. So it's not excessive inventory levels, because if ever there is a high inventory turnover, that means there is a good sales. So letter D is not the answer. And letter A is also not the answer, because you will have minimal inventory levels if the inventory turnover is high. Efficient inventory management, might be. High working capital requirements is not directly related to the question. Inventory turnover, so letter B. Yeah. Am I correct? Yeah, I'm correct. Which of the following working capital strategies is typically more conservative? More conservative. Financing current assets with long-term debt. Yeah, it's pretty much conservative. Relying on short-term debt for liquidity. No. It's not conservative. Maintaining minimal cash reserves. That's aggressive. Using a high proportion of accounts payable for financing. That's aggressive. Those are short-term financing. When you short-term finance, that's basically aggressive. If you do get sources of funds from long-term sources, that's conservative. So I would have letter A, because that's the only ones that's conservative. Okay? Correct. Okay. Which is the primary benefit of implementing a just-in-time inventory system? So just-in-time, that means you have to wait for the orders of the customer before you manufacture. So you're not going to manufacture first and then wait for the customers to order. Okay. Increased inventory levels. No, GIT has no inventory to keep, because you are only going to cater the orders of the customer. So after you made them, you deliver them immediately. So reduced inventory holding cost. Yes, maybe that's the answer. But let's go to C. Higher production costs. Might be. Yeah, because you cannot batch process. It's per customer. You're going to process products per customer. Increased lead times. Might be. But we're talking about benefit, and this letter C and letter D are disadvantages. So I'll have B. Yeah. Which of the following ratios would you use to assess the company's liquidity in relation to accounts payable? Okay. Quick ratio. Accounts payable turnover ratio, debt to equity ratio. The only thing that's in which of these ratios, the only ratio here that pertains to company's liquidity is quick ratio. So let's have that. It's boring. It's I'm incorrect. I have said it's boring, and then I'm incorrect. To assess a company's liquidity in relation to its accounts payable, you would use accounts payable turnover ratio. This ratio measures how quickly a company pays off its accounts payable. Yeah. The quick ratio assesses the ability to meet its short-term obligation with its most liquid asset, but does not specifically focus on accounts payable. Yeah, I agree. So I have two wrong answers already. But let me spice it a bit. Can you give me challenging questions? Okay. Oh, here's A company's current assets amount is $800,000 and its current liabilities amount to $500,000. The company is considering a new policy that will increase its accounts receivable by $100,000 but will reduce its cash by $50,000. How will this policy affect the company's current ratio? So the current assets is 800. So if there is a new policy, the accounts receivable will increase. So it will be 900 but will reduce its cash by 50. Of course, the current assets in general increased because the increase in receivable is bigger than the reduction of cash. Yeah. So what will happen to the current ratio? Of course, it will increase. Okay. Let's go to the next one. A company has a debt ratio of 60% and a current ratio of 1.2. The company has 400,000 in total assets. What is the amount of the working capital? Okay. So if the company has a total assets of 400,000 and the debt ratio is 60%, so that means assets is 400,000, the debt is 60% of that. Because debt ratio is debt over assets. So meaning 400,000 times 0.60, this is the total assets, 240,000. 240,000. Yeah, I cannot. So this is the only given. The current ratio is current assets over current liabilities. Yeah. So I don't know. What is its working capital? Let's assume that this debt and, this debt and the assets are considered as, current. All of them are current. Okay, so we have 400 on the assets and 240 on the liabilities. I cannot find it. Couldn't answer it. What happened? What's happening? How do you analyze this? Okay, let's assume that 240,000 is the current liabilities, even if it's not said here. So if the current ratio is 1.2, that means 240 times 1.20, you have 288,000 and it's not here. So if it is 288,000 minus 240, 48, this is under the assumption that the liabilities are all current. Oh God. $60, 100 divided by 60. Oh no, I cannot answer this. Okay, if you cannot answer this, of course, you have to skip it in your test and go on the next questions, because maybe you should not be interested on all those things that you don't understand during the test. During studying, you are interested with those that you don't understand, but in test, you are not really you should not focus your energy on those questions that you really don't understand. You skip it, you go to another one to save time. Okay, and after all, the easy question normally in a test has the same points with the difficult questions. So save your time and focus on those that you really do understand. So for me, since I have 48,000, let's have letter A. I don't know. Incorrect. Let's see the explanation if I agree. So to determine the current liabilities, 400, 60%. Yeah, 240. I've been there. So, yeah, 400, 240, 160, yeah. Calculate the current liabilities. Let current liabilities be CL. So, current assets is 1.2. Current assets is 1.2 times CL. Yeah. Since total liabilities is 240, the current liabilities are a part of this. So, current assets equals total assets minus non-current assets. Non-current assets equals total assets. It's just rambling. It's just the same. Total assets minus current assets. So, the liabilities include both current and non-current. So, CL is part of 240,000. Given the ratio or formula, current assets equals 1.2 times current liabilities. Working capital equals current assets minus current liabilities. So, calculate the working capital. Total liabilities equals current liabilities as non-current liabilities. 240. What's happening? Current liabilities equals current assets over current ratio equals 1.2 times CL. Huh? That's what I mean when it comes to problems. I'm going to check this, okay? So, from the ratio only and the data of the assets and liabilities and capital, he extracted something. Solve for current liabilities from total liabilities using the ratio. Current liabilities is 200,000. Are you sure? Let me screenshot this. This is one of the challenging questions, you also prove this one. I'm going to prove this one later on. You have also to prove this one. So, what I did is just get the total assets. We have the total assets already and get the liabilities of 240,000, and then, you know, the capital can be extracted from it because that's just 400 minus 240. And then you have current assets over current liabilities 1.2. And then based on the solution of ChatGPT, he just jumbled, and he got, I don't know what is the answer. The amount of working capital. Oh, the amount of working capital is 40. I answered 40. Yeah, I answered 40, right? Yeah, I answered 40. What are you talking about? So I'm correct on my guess, I guess. So let's go to question 15. A company sales revenue is 2 million and its average collection period is 45 days. If the company's accounts receivable is 250,000, what is the average daily sales revenue? Okay. The average collection period is 45 days. So that's 360 divided by receivable turnover. Right. These are weird. This is supposed to be the challenging ones. So 360 divided by 45. The receivable turnover is 8. If that is 8 and we have a sales of 2 million divided by 8, that's 250,000. The average receivable, yeah, it checks out. So the 8 is the turnover. Yeah, and it's using 360 days. So meaning that's what I need, only 2 million divided by 360 days. That's 555,555 B, because that's what it wants. It did not ask for the receivable turnover. Okay, that's B. Correct. Okay, let's move on. We're up to question 20 only. If the company has a working capital of 120,000 and current liabilities of 80,000, that means we have 200,000 current assets, because current assets minus current liabilities is 120 and the current liabilities is 80. So meaning 120 plus 80, 200. So if current ratio is the ones asked, so we have 200,000 divided by 80, 2.5 D. Yeah. Next question. Question 17. A company's net working capital is 150,000 and it has a current liability of 70. If the company's inventory is 90, what is its accounts receivable? So again, we have the working capital already, so that means the assets is much bigger because it's not negative. So it's much bigger than the current liabilities by 150,000. So since the current liabilities is 70,000 plus 150, we have 220,000. And since the inventory is 90 minus 90,000, you have 130. But what about the cash? It's not given. The cash is not given. I have here the answer, 130 only. Might be the cash is... No, we cannot find the cash here. So I think the nearest 130, this is 130 and there is no 130 in the multiple choices, and I guess there is still a cash portion. And seeing the multiple choice questions, it's either 50 or 70. I'll have 70. I'll just try. Again, the ChatGPT is not really reliable as to questions. Correct. I'm correct. Since the value does not match any... Yeah, okay. 150, 70. Current assets minus plus 70 to 20, yeah. Yeah, 90. The answer is 130. I got it. And she said, she said, I don't know, ChatGPT said, since the value of 130 does not match any options provided, let's adjust. So meaning, I'm correct. But he's just adjusting. If the company has inventory turnover ratio of 8 times and cost of goods sold of 320,000, yeah, what is the average inventory level? Of course, that's 320,000 only divided by 8, because 320,000 over average inventory, which is the unknown, equals 8. So to shortcut, it's just 320,000 divided by 8 instead of making algebra. So we have B. Yeah, I'm correct. And 19, a company's cash conversion cycle is 60 days. Okay, that's bad. It's big. If the average collection period is 45 days and the average inventory period is 20 days, what is the average payment period? Huh? So meaning, the average payment period, the average collection period plus average inventory period is the operating cycle, which is 65 days. So if the operating cycle is 65 days minus average payment period is 60, so 65 minus unknown equals 60, that's 5 days. Yeah, it's 5 days. So, since it's not in the multiple choice question, let's have letter A. So that's what we call as educational guess. Although again, ChatGPT is not reliable when it comes to problems. Okay? So yeah, let's have letter A. Correct daw. It should be 15 days. Yeah. The average, yeah, it should be 5 days. The correct average payment is 5 days. And ChatGPT did not put it in the options. I'm correct, by the way. Question 20. This should be the last. A company has a cash flow from operations of 250,000 and a net income of 180,000. If the company's depreciation expense is 40,000, what is the change in working capital? So both these amounts, 250 and 180, is reflecting the operations of the company. The only difference is that the net income is accrual basis. The cash flow from operations is cash basis. So in management services and financial management, the only difference between the two is that the net income considers depreciation expense. Okay? So if that's the case, if you add back the depreciation expense, supposedly you can come up with the cash flow from operations. So 180 has been deducted already by depreciation expense. You have to add back. So 180 plus 40 is 220. Yeah. So 220. So there is a difference still of 30,000, which is an increase, right? An increase. Yeah, it's a plus. It should be a plus. So it should only be a plus. Yeah. To 20. 30. 180 plus 40 to 20. The difference is 30. So meaning 30. Incorrect. Change in working capital is a decrease in 30. So the answer should reflect that. 30, the choice is 30. What the hell are you doing? So basically, I got the correct answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, my viewers, let us stop right here. So that's how you answer, you practice. But don't practice in ChatGPT for calculations. You can have other reviewers, and then you answer them on your own. But just remember, you can do educational guesses. And of course, concept is very important because you will not understand some theoretical questions if you don't know really the meaning of the formulas, for example, and the amounts. Okay? And if you don't understand during your test the question, skip it into another item so that you can use your time efficiently. Okay? So the first priority is actually those that you know, and then those questions, if you still have time with the questions in which you have 50-50, like 4 multiple choices, you have eliminated already the 2, so 50-50. So you need to answer them after you answered all those questions that you are sure. And if the time runs out and you have not answered the third priority, which is those questions that you don't know, it's okay. So as long as you have answered the questions that you know, and you have answered those questions that you are 50-50. Okay? So what is bad is when you are stuck with a question that is so difficult that you have not answered every question that you know. So be smart. That's it. See you on the next video.